Today we're cooking up the best espresso rubbed beef tenderloin that just melts in your mouth. Hello and welcome to Kitchen Wise. I'm Tabitha Blue and today's episode is sponsored by Omaha Steaks. You guys, I am so excited for this beef. Today we're cooking a Chateaubriand. I know Chateaubriand can be an intimidating word, but it also goes by other names like filet mignon roast, a beef roast, or simply beef tenderloin. This is the most decadent, tender cut of beef, a little more expensive as well, which makes it perfect for holidays and special occasions, and also what can make it a little bit intimidating. But today we're gonna show you just how to make it for the perfect outcome every time. Plus, our espresso rub that we're making takes it to a whole new level. At Omaha Steaks, they do refer to this beef tenderloin as Chateaubriand. It's named after a 19th century romantic French writer. This roast-sized filet mignon is designed to impress with a mild beef flavor, but just incredible tenderness. So let's get started. So the first step is prepping your Chateaubriand or beef tenderloin. Some of that prep means trimming off the fat unless you already have it pre-trimmed. Usually that makes it much more expensive though, but it's simple to do. The first step here is we actually are going to want to remove what's called the chain. And that's this fatty part of the beef right here. It's actually very edible, still good to use, but we're going to take it off because it cooks at a different temperature than the rest of the steak. And then this could be great for stir fry or a roast, other kind of dishes like that. And for trimming that, we just take our knife right in here and we're gonna cut back. Once that's removed, we're gonna take our knife and run it under this fatty layer, also called the silver skin. Once we have that done on the top, we're going to trim up a little bit from the other side. A good tip when you're cooking any kind of beef, especially a steak like this, is to pull it out of the refrigerator at least an hour before cooking. You want to get that steak up to room temperature before you throw it in a hot oven. Now today I am going to use paper towel and just kind of pat dry, get a little of the extra moisture off of the outside of this fillet. I just want everything like the rub that we're creating to stick to it nicely and let that bring out the flavor. Don't worry, it's not gonna make it dry. A lot of times when you're cooking a tenderloin, there might be a tail, there might be portions of it that are uneven. You want it to cook evenly, so a good tip is to tie your roast for even cooking. Now for ours here, we only have a little part here on the edge that likes to pull out. So it's gonna be a really easy one to tie. Like I said, sometimes you'll have a little tail that you'll want to tuck in and you just tie it off with some twine. If you need to tie the whole thing about every inch or so, here we're just going to seal in this little part. There we go. This is ready for seasoning. So to create our rub, we're just gonna mix it in another bowl right here. Start with some ground espresso powder. Add in brown sugar. Give it some extra sweetness. Add in a little cumin. So we've got cayenne pepper. And then I like to add salt. I like to use pink Himalayan salt. You can use whatever kind you'd like. Now we're gonna give it a good mix and mix that all together. If you prefer a dry rub on your steaks, you can just take this, rub it right into your beef tenderloin. I do like to add a little bit of oil and just to help that rub stick. So we're gonna start on one side. Here we go, rub it right in. Oh, look at that. This is looking good already. It's gonna give it a nice kind of crust flavor. I'm gonna flip it over and we're just gonna do the same on the other side. Give it a little bit of dousing with oil. You can use olive oil or vegetable oil, whatever oils you prefer. And get that rub right in there. I've already got my oven preheating. I don't want to have to wait for the oven to heat up once the steak is ready to go in, of course. And then also, kind of as a beginner tip, or if you're a little scared of this cut of meat, we're cooking it low and slow today. That'll help keep it super tender, also helps keep it from overcooking as well. So we've set our temperature to 225. Oh, there we go. We're almost done. We're getting it all nice and covered because, like I said, we're gonna give this roast a nice crust. I think we are good to go. So here, I've got my roasting pan ready. We're gonna set it right in there. This smells so good. And then we're putting ours in the oven for about 2.5 to 3 hours at 225, like I said, low and slow. Okay, it's smelling good. We are gonna check the oven. We want our roast to be right around about 125 degrees internal temperature of the meat. So I'm gonna check it out right now. All right. All right, that looks great. So I am going to move the steak now out of the pan. We're gonna let this rest for about 10 minutes. While this is resting, I'm gonna go ahead and prepare some sides. We have a couple of great sides from Omaha Steaks, and I find that makes it easy just to get everything on the table at once. So we're gonna let this rest and get to it. We are down to just the last little bit. I've taken the rack out of the roasting pan and we're putting our Chateaubriand back in the roasting pan. This time we're gonna just cover it with a couple spoonfuls of butter and a little bit of rosemary. Oh, yum. There we go. Everything's good with butter, right? Here we go. Now this is gonna go back in the oven, but this time it's gonna be under the broiler just for a few minutes. We're gonna do it about 30 seconds on each side. And add a little rosemary on top. There we go. Let's put this butter in the pan. So what we're gonna do is flip it over at about 30 seconds each time. So it's only gonna be in the oven for a couple of minutes. That smells so good. All right, happy steak. Here we go, look at that glaze. Oh my goodness. All right, I am going to cut off the twine, of course. It's not part of what we serve. There we go. And then we're gonna slice it up. Now this is great. You can serve it just like this as a roast for dinner, have it presented like this on a plate. You can slice it, really serve it however you want. Today, I'm gonna slice it up so we can really see how good this looks. So my family likes it a little more on the no pink side, a little more well done. So I cook the temperature and bring it up just a little higher than usual. You'll want to check it right about that 2.5 hour mark and see what your temperature is. If you like it a little more pink, then go with about 120 degrees. But for us, look at this. That looks perfect. Look how tender that is. I want to cut a little piece and taste it. Let's do that. Because I'm the chef and I can, I'm gonna taste it. Okay, our meat is done. It's delicious. I wish you guys could like smell and taste and feel how tender and soft and good this roast is. So we're just gonna plate it up. I have some sides here from Omaha Steaks. We've got some Brussels sprouts. Whoop, if I can get them out here. Some Brussels sprouts, and then we have some smashed red potatoes as well. So it's a good way to just kind of get everything on the plate. Oh. But you guys, it looks delicious. And there you have it, the perfect way to end up with delicious, tender Chateaubriand. Again, we served ours with some sides from Omaha Steaks, which are delicious, pairs well with it. You could also cook your tenderloin right in that roasting pan, add a whole bunch of vegetables and potatoes and serve it that way, especially for a big celebration or something like that. But so good. I would love if you try it. And if you do, tag me on social media at Tabitha Blue and let me know. You guys, that's it for this time, but I'll see you next time on Kitchen Wise.